For doing water temperature, what we're going to do is we're going to place the bottom part of the thermometer into the water in the sample bottle. They can also do it in a specimen jar if it's a bit easier. And we're going to hold it in there until the blue line stops moving. Generally it'll go down because it'll be colder than the air, except for maybe midsummer. Okay, the next test is pH. This is the pH tube. So we want to pop the lid, take out a pH strip, and the easiest way to do this is in a specimen jar. So we're just going to pop the tube and the coloured squares in here for a couple of minutes. All right. Once that few minutes has passed, we take the tube out, and if you tell the students to hold the tube in the left hand with the lid, and then the strip in your right hand, and then what you do is there's the acidic numbers on the left hand side, so you just rotate it around to see where all four colours best match. Alright, and then on the bottom side is the alkaline side. So what you want to do is see where all four colours match across the lines, and if you think it's between two numbers you can have a half. So I'm going to call this one 7. You can see that just there, that those colours match across. Alright, when you're finished with it, throw the strip out and put the tube away. The next test we're going to do is electrical conductivity, which is measuring the amount of salt that's in the water. So we use a EC probe for that. So the way we do this, if you take off the lid, now only the bottom part is waterproof. So you're going to turn the machine on with the on-off button. Alright, and you wait for a 0 to come on the screen. Now what we want to do, again using the little specimen jar is the easiest for this. So you're going to pop it in the water, and then what we're going to do is we're going to watch the numbers change. Okay, and you can give it a little wiggle at the same time. So when you can count to 3 and the numbers haven't changed, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. That's when I'm going to record my result. Now the other part that is important in this test is to take the meter out, and you give it a little rinse with some deionized water just to wash the salt off, and give it a dry with some paper towel. Put the lid on and turn it off when you want to put it away. Another test to do is the phosphate test, which is measuring the amount of nutrient that's in the water. So Australia is generally a low nutrient country, but because of I guess activities on the land, there can be excess nutrient in the water, so that might cause algal growth or aquatic weeds. So testing phosphate can be important. So this is a new test. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some water up to the 10 ml line in this little tube. So just grab that from the sample of water that you've already collected. A little bit more. Okay. And then we take a strip out of here. So remember just to touch the white part, not the other bit. And it says to bend it in the middle. So I'm trying to do too much in my hands. Alright. So you want to just flex that and put it in here. Alright, and then it asks you to invert it 5 times. So 1, and 5. Okay, then take the strip out. Now what you want to do, there's a colour chart on here, and what it asks you to do is place the tube against the colour chart to try and match it, and you've got to try and look down through the tube to see where the colours match. So you look down like this, alright, and move it along the boxes to see where the colours best match. So I reckon this one would be a 0. You can see that. And then just dispose of the water in a bucket or on the grass and throw the strip away. When you put water in, and then you look again. You say, can I still see the pattern at the bottom? All right, if you can, keep going and add a bit more water, and then have another look. Okay, check with your friends, okay? All right, and if you have super clear water and you fill it all the way to the brim, you record your result as 7.